Once again, this your boy Big Flex. Hey, 2023, flex your vote. You know what it is. Things getting major. Brunswick County. Hey, I got a special guest with me this evening, Alfonzo Seward. Alfonso, introduce yourself to the people, Fonz.
So I'm Alfonso Seward, as you see on my T-shirt. I'm currently the Sturgeon District representative for the Board of Supervisors, chair of the Board of Supervisors. I was the assistant chair last year, or vice chair of the board last year. I'm also a college professor at Southside Virginia Community College. I'm the lead criminal justice professor for both the Alberta and Daniel campuses as well. I'm also a deputy sheriff here in Brunswick, where I work for Sheriff Roberts part-time.
Okay. So, Fonz, look, tell me the areas that you represent, like the neighborhoods and towns.
So I represent the Sturgeon District. If you leaving Greensville County and you're coming down 58 West, once you come into Brunswick, everything on the right side, which is the north side of 58, is the Sturgeon District, which crosses over Route 1 into Wallfield. So I got Dolphin, Freeman, Wallfield. So, you know, Sturgeon, 712, Liberty Road, Antioch, all the way up there, Route 1. And then over across down as well.
Okay. So, as you were saying, you was a member of the law enforcement.
I am.
Okay. What made you get involved in the Board of Supervisors?
So, it's just a matter of caring. You know, when I came back to Southside as a college professor, I had kids in the school system, owned property in the county, and wanted to be engaged in making a difference, making a change. And so an opportunity was presented where somebody asked me to run. You know, when Freddie Harrison was before me, stepped down, and he said he was going to retire. He said he thought I'd be a good replacement. Initially, I said, no, I don't have the time. You know, I really wasn't going to do it. But after a few conversations, you know, if not me, then who?
Well, right.
So I said, you know what? You always have an opinion. You always talking about how we can improve the community. Then, you know, step forward, because it's easy to say how to improve. But it's a little bit more difficult to get in the seat and sit here and do it. So
that's right. So how long you been up?
So this is my first term. So this is my fourth. This is the end of my first term right here. So this is my fourth year. So in January I start the new term. That'll be my second term.
Okay.
I'm the youngest. I'm the baby on the board.
Okay. That's a good thing. So like I said, once again, it's November 7th.
Yeah, November 7th. But early voting's already started. Yep. So you can vote now, Monday through Friday. I'm during the daytime, and we got a what they call Sunday voting. So Sunday voting is in October. I believe it's October the 15th. And then we also going to have 2 Saturdays where you can vote. I believe they're October 28th and November the 4th as well. So Virginia's put this new system in, so you don't have to wait till November the 7th. So somebody's working, might be out of town, might get sick. So you walk right in, cast your ballot just like you would at your local polling station. So yeah, it's important. I've already voted. You know, so it's important to get out and vote.
So check it out, y'all. Early voting already started.
Early voting already started. Sundays too, right? Yeah. So we got one Sunday, which is I believe October the 15th. I had to check the calendar, but October the 15th. And so we have we get out on Sunday voting.
Okay.
So souls to the polls, what they call it.
What is it?
Souls to the polls.
Souls to the polls. Okay, that's major. That's major.
From church to the polls.
Okay, that's major. From the church to the polls. That's major. So, Fonz, you say you did one term already for. Okay. Yes. So, I mean, what's keeping you motivated to run for another term?
So the thing is just making sure that I can finish some of the things that I started. You know, I don't plan to be on the board 20 years. One of the biggest things is I believe in education, and we're consolidating the schools. And we started now to construct the new school, and we're going to go through the consolidation process. And, you know, I don't want to miss out on that opportunity to see that through. I also want to see the internet expand, you know, down in my area, Dolphin, for my people that don't have it, Wallfield, Freeman, you know, my
so talk about that. So talk about that more. Let the community know about the high-speed internet coming through.
So we're waiting on high-speed internet to come through. The northern end of the county has not received some of the services that the southern end has, and we're working on it. We're working with the local, state, and federal government in order to make sure that the citizens in the Sturgeon District receive the broadband that we need. Prior to the pandemic, it wasn't as big or seemed to be as big as it is now. But after that, we know whether it's telemedicine for telehealth, so that people can, you know, use broadband for their doctor's appointments, or whether it's so that students can go to school and have access to the internet from home, or if it's just entertainment for stress relief, so that they can download and enjoy the things that the internet provides. So, you know, we have the things that we need it for as far as healthcare and education, but we also need it for recreational, because there's a lot of things going on with mental health. And so sometimes if people can, you know, delve into something like television show, music, things of that nature, it'll be a stress relief for them. So it's very important to be able to get that broadband into our area, and so that people can use it.
Okay, that's cool. That's major.
Yes. So the reason why is because we had 2 different companies, and so Empower Broadband which is Mecklenburg Electric. They were able to build out. I won't name the other company, but they have not built out at the same level, and so we have to make sure that that company comes on board and builds out the northern end of the county.
Okay.
And so you're dealing with it's a complicated issue because it's state funds and federal funds, and it's a lot going on with it.
Okay.
It's not very simple.
Okay. So let's talk about economics in the county. You know, it's tough in the county.
Right.
So jobs.
Right.
Let's talk about jobs.
All right.
Growth. How can we get these jobs here, for these people?
So the thing is we're looking at it. We have a great economic development director. We also have that's the EDA. We have an IDA. So we have an IDA as well, and so both are working hard to bring jobs in. One of the barriers is, and people don't think about this, is but infrastructure. And this from years past. I mean, you have to have internet, you got to have water, you have to have sewer to attract these large jobs, and some of those things cost a lot of money to put in place. And you got to find somebody that's willing to take a chance on us. I mean, they're out recruiting, creating an environment that's business friendly. And that's what we wanted to do, is so that companies, when they look at our website, when they look at our social media, they know that Brunswick is open for business and we are receptive and we're not turning anything down. A lot of times you hear people say, oh, I'm going to bring a grocery store in, or I'm going to bring these different things in. And the question is how do you attract them? Because they are looking at us, they're looking at our population, they're looking at our demographics. And so we have to go out and be able to attract them, bring them in, but it's not always as easy to do. And so we definitely have to improve the infrastructure, and we got to continue to recruit and pray, really, because we're in a situation where years ago, and I ain't talking about the last 2 decades, right. I'm talking about years ago, decisions were made that made it a little bit more difficult for Brunswick.
That's right. Alfonso, let me ask you about the literacy program in the public school system.
So to be clear, the Board of Supervisors, we fund the schools, but by code, the school sets all the curriculum as far as the literacy programs, things of that nature. A certain amount of funding we have to give them based off of state law, the way that the funding system mechanism is, and then sometimes we'll fund extra capital improvement projects. So really, the literacy program at the school really falls on the school. And if you're asking me my personal opinion, my kids did well in Brunswick. My daughter graduated from college. My youngest is in governor school. She's doing well. But is there room for improvement? There's always room for improvement. Right. And can we go back and capture those students that are struggling? Because sometimes it's easy to teach those that are the good students, the low-hanging fruit, to grab them. But the kids that have other issues going on. And some of the issues that the teachers have in the classroom come from the home too. So a little bit, there's got to be stabilization, things like that. Not blaming the parent, but we all got a role in it. And parents got a serious role in making sure when the kid come to school, they prepared to learn. They got the things that they need. They had sleep the night before. They got food, things of that nature. That way, the teacher, when he's putting their curriculum in place, they're not fighting against making sure that the kid ain't hungry, things of that nature. But there are some improvements that could be made in the school system, just like with anything. I mean, there's always room for improvement. Yeah, but overall, that falls on the actual school board and not the Board of Supervisors.
Okay. Yep. I hate to keep bouncing around, but let me ask you this. What does the Board of what role does the Board of Supervisors play, like town? Do they control the town?
So no, the Board of Supervisors does not control the towns. And I give y'all an example. A lot of times I see people talking about, I remember when the town of Lawrenceville was bustling, things of that nature. And we take the approach of, when Brunswick wins, the town wins. When the town wins, Brunswick wins. So of course we collaborate, we work in a partnership, but overall there's a town council. So in Lawrenceville, you have the Lawrenceville Town Council, you have the mayor. Lawrenceville Town Council votes and decides whether they're going to bring a business in. The mayor, is there, and the mayor serves the role that currently Mayor Tatum serves. Right. Then you have Broadnax, you have Alberta. They have town councils, they have mayors as well. Now, like Dauphin, we're a little bit smaller, so we don't have that. But so we don't control what goes on downtown Lawrenceville, So we really control what goes on out in the county. So that's where that is. So everybody keep in mind that each town has its own town council, whether it's Broadnax, Alberta, or Lawrenceville, and they have their mayor. And they're responsible for the town. We do collaborate with them. Lawrenceville is the town seat, and we work well with everybody. And it's important that we collaborate and that we have a team effort when bringing in economic development to Brunswick. And so we do anything that we can to enhance the town as well. And we've bought a lot of businesses in the town. But the thing is people got to support the businesses when they come to town. That's because if you bring a business in and nobody ever goes there to eat, if I bring a restaurant, then how does the restaurant survive?
Right.
And the first time you go get a cheeseburger and the cheeseburger burnt, you go to social media, blast the people, and nobody goes in, you lose your business.
That's
And
right.
so that the thing is making sure that we
That's
bring
very
in
true.
quality businesses and that we support the businesses when they come, because regardless of the business, if the people don't support it, it's not going to
It's not
stay.
going to strive.
It's not going to strive. It's not going to happen.
It's not. Yeah, if you go to a restaurant, local, and the food isn't right, you bash them and they lose their business. But all the time, hey, you might go to McDonald's or Hardee's and something ain't right. Hey, you back there again the next day.
Yeah,
So
and
you got to
that's
support. Everybody got to
we
support.
got to support each other.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like we put pressure on each other in Brunswick that we might not put on each other, in other areas. I mean, everywhere we go, you're going to go and have sometimes maybe a service that wasn't the greatest. And
That's
so
right.
you got to give a second chance, and of course we can't support bad business either. So the business have its role and responsibility to make sure that they provide quality food, good prices,
right.
things that are affordable. One of the things I always laugh about Brunswick is they always say, well, you don't have any restaurants. I said, well, all of us, we love our gas station food, whether it's Uppitt's,
Yeah.
Dots, East Side, Eastwood,
That's right. That's
we
right.
eat, and
right.
we got good food and things of that nature. We may not have Burger King, McDonald's, but I guarantee if you go down to some of these restaurants, some of the stores, you get
Yeah.
better quality food.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So, but we are in a food desert, as everybody knows.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
and
true.
so we got to bring in some more things and businesses for sure.
That's right. And like you said, open for business.
Open for business, yeah, open for business, and we open for business. We haven't turned down many things since I've been on the board.
Right.
Sometimes it's this impression that we're turning down businesses or that we don't want a business or something like that. And we have to weigh a lot of things when we look at a business. I mean, we got to make sure that it's going to be something that's safe, something that the community that's going to reflect the community values, things of that nature. But since I've been on the board, I think we might have turned down, one business, if that. So that's been about
let's
it.
talk about parks and recreation.
Parks and recreation, all right.
Entertainment.
All right. I'm
to
all
the
about
county.
it.
Let's talk about that.
Right.
How can we do better bringing entertainment, recreation?
So what I tell anybody is that we do need more recreation. It's important. Swimming pools, things of that nature.
Yeah.
We had a conference center over there at right in downtown Lawrenceville, across from Browns. We opened a bowling alley, brought it in for people to come in. Wasn't always a high attendance, so you got to think about what you're having, but we're looking to expand it, and so we got to figure out how we can expand it, do something. I envision a place. I was on a committee where they were looking at bringing in the YMCA. They were doing a feasibility study and they were looking at it, and the YMCA said that Brunswick wasn't an ideal place for various reasons to bring in a YMCA. So we start trying to look at a community center, and things like that cost a good amount of money. I mean, you getting into millions of dollars when you start looking at developing and operating a community center. So the first thing we got to do is make sure we get the revenue in, make sure we come up with something that the people want. It needs to be diverse, it needs to be inclusive of the entire community.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of black, white, old, and young. So that if my mom wants to go out and be able to walk after work, she can. But if the young kids want to be able to play ball, they can. If you want to be able to go in the gym, lift weights, have classes, things of that nature, yoga classes and stuff. We want it to be an environment where my wife feels safe and feel comfortable going in there alongside your wife, and that's what we're looking for. So we're looking for recreation, and we're looking for a place to be able to do that that's inclusive and that everybody feels safe and that we meet the needs of the people.
That's right.
And that's what we're looking for. Recreation is very important,
That's right.
For our health as well as our mental health, both are important. Entertainment, one of the things I encourage the community to do is we got to create some entertainment as well. Because a lot of times we go to these cities, these things aren't created by the government. If you think about Pharrell, and you think about what he does with something in the water, that's something he created. The people can create it. What we have to do is provide the atmosphere, the location for it. And so
and that's the major thing. People want to have entertainment, but getting people to work with them to have the entertainment.
Right.
That's the major issue.
So what I tell anybody is, if you're looking at doing a major event, you look at the Taste of Brunswick. That is not a Brunswick County event. It's put on by the government. It's put on by a local group. If you look at like the seafood festival that's at the airport, things of that nature, that's done by another group. And so if you got a group that wants to put on something large, get in contact with the county administrator and talk to about what your plans are and see how we can support it. And so we'll look at doing that. And then you have some people like up at Browntown Farms where they take on and they put on their own event and they come in, they get their permit, and I'm out there supporting it. I'm out there with them. And so it's big. The government can do so much, But at some point in time, we as a community have to step up and
Agree.
say, what can we do?
Agree.
We created the Jazz Festival prior to me getting on the board. That was one of Dr. Harris's things.
Okay.
And it's growing every year,
Yeah.
downtown, and people are coming out, they're having
It's
fun,
nice. It
they're
is.
listening
It's
to
nice.
music. Yeah. And I mean, and it's a good time. Not any drama. The police are there to support, but not overbearing. So I mean,
Right.
it's good. I mean,
Right.
and so the government can put on some things, but at some point in time, we're looking for nonprofits, different groups that want to put things on and come before the board and see how we can support you and what we need to
That's
do.
right.
So that's what I encourage everybody to do.
That's right. That's major. So let me ask you this. I paid my taxes last year, Alphonso. Taxes was a little high last year. So let's talk about the tax, reality, tax situation in the county. Let's talk about that.
So I want to start off by saying one thing. I got to pay the same tax rate
Facts.
that everybody else got to
Facts.
pay. I
Facts.
don't get a board of supervisors
Facts.
exemption.
Facts.
So when the tax bill came, my wife won't happy about it either. But when it came down to educating our kids and being able to build a new school and also looking at EMS and making sure that we had paid EMS, throughout the county, it's major because if somebody's parent or grandparents laid on the floor having a heart attack, you want to make sure that the person that shows up to respond is going to be capable of saving their lives if their life can be saved. And so nowadays, the volunteers in those, as far as your EMTs and things, are getting further, few and far in between. Takes a lot of schooling. They can make money doing that in other localities. So now we have to pay them. And you often have to know that the board of supervisors funds the other constitutional officers, whether it's the courts, whether it's law enforcement, the schools, things of that nature. So when the taxes get raised, it's so that we can improve the services to the community. Nobody takes it lightly. We don't want to raise taxes no more than what we have to. We want to diversify the tax base. One of the things that we're trying to bring in now is solar, because we feel like solar is going to bring in millions of dollars of revenue.
Okay.
And so if we can bring in millions of dollars a year in revenue, then that will reduce the chances of us having to raise taxes in the very near future. So we are trying to diversify the tax base as well. But the government doesn't operate for free. And if we want quality services, we have to bring them in. But we also got to bring in industry so that all that burden doesn't just fall on the individual. So it's something we definitely take very seriously.
So the solar, we're talking about, but the solar is coming to the county.
Yeah, so we've approved one solar down in my district, the Sturgeon District.
Okay.
Has not started on working on it yet. I believe it's Monarch Solar, if I'm not mistaken, but that's the one that we've approved. Only one has been approved in the county. There's some others that are in the pipeline. And so we're looking to generate millions of dollars, literally, from these projects.
Okay.
And so that's going to help bring in some revenue. And that revenue is going to help us build some of that infrastructure that we need in order to be able to bring in other businesses. And so it's like a building block thing, man, where you have to, as Obama says, shovel-ready projects.
Okay.
And you learn when you start going to these conferences and things like that, you're competing with other localities. So you got to make sure you get the right tier. And so you got to have things to offer, for these businesses to come, so that the governor and other people will advertise for our businesses, and so that we'll be able to get them.
Okay.
And so we got to give the economic development director and the IDA director tools in order to bring businesses in.
Right. Okay, that's amazing.
So it's important. So
Okay.
yeah, we definitely don't take raising taxes lightly. So it's a serious conversation.
That's right. It is. It is.
Yeah,
It is. It's tough, but
it's tough.
it's the reality though.
It is.
So once again, hey, Alfonzo Seward joining me, Flexing with Dex, 2023, Flex Your Vote. Hey, Fonz, it's your time to talk to the people, to the voters. Hey, would you like to convey to
Because I
your
believe
voters?
that it's important to reach as many audiences as I can. So this is another audience. I feel like I'm a part of the community. I was born and raised in Brunswick. I'm a Bulldog, class of '96. Went to the military, became a Virginia State Trooper, came back here, raised my family here, and I'm dedicated to the community. You all see me. I'm at football games, basketball games. I'm at the various schools, cooking food, involved in the community, always accessible. I tell everybody, that if you need anything, reach out to me. If you reach out to the county administrator, she will get in contact with me, and I will get back in contact with you very shortly thereafter. So the main takeaway is, and I think my main accomplishment would be the school system. My biggest priority moving forward at this moment is making sure that we get the internet that we need, and also making sure that we bring businesses and infrastructure into Brunswick. I'm big in entertainment. I love events. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what creative that the public can come up with. People want to do county fairs. They want to do Southern Soul. I hear a lot of ideas.
That's
And
right.
all I'm saying is just bring those ideas to us, and let's see how we can work with you to bring those ideas to fruition. I take the raising of taxes very serious, and I know it's tax time. We just got our little bill in the mail as well, and so we understand that the burden that can put on families, and so we're definitely looking for a way to diversify the tax base and not have to put that burden on families any more than we have to.
Once again, man, 2023, Alfonzo Seward.
All right.
Hey, my man.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Flexing with Dex, man. 2023, flex your vote. Alfonzo Seward dropped in today with Big Flex, and he had some major PowerPoints. So look, go out and vote, and don't ever get it twisted. Right here on Flexing with Dex. Thank you, Fonz.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Dex. I'm Alfonso Seward, a Board of Supervisors representative for the Sturgeon District and also the chair of Brunswick County Board of Supervisors. First, I'd like to thank Flexin with Dex for allowing me to come here to reach out to his audience. I want to encourage all of you all to come out and vote. Your vote is important. Your vote counts. Your vote matters. Early voting has already started. You can vote from 8 to 4:30 on Monday through Friday. We have souls to the polls on October the 15th. We also have early voting on October the 28th, as well as November the 4th. It's important that you come out and vote. It's important that you get to know your candidates. And we're not perfect, but you got to ask yourself, are we better than the alternative? And so I'm running unopposed, and I appreciate the support from the Sturgeon District thus far. And I encourage you all to come out and vote till November the 7th. Your vote early counts just as much as your vote does on November the 7th. I've enjoyed representing you all thus far, and I want to continue to move Brunswick forward. I want to continue to build a school, continue to bring businesses, continue to bring entertainment, continue to support public safety and education as well.